We can agree to disagree on some things and come and hash it out like adults, because I was shocked with you being like you're very outspoken polygamist. Your wives are very supportive. This is a unit. I see the kids online. Like I said, y'all dressed alike.
Right.
Women get an upgrade in their status because of marriage. So that a lot of times the man need to know, does she love you? Or is she looking for a promotion in status in community? Because it may have nothing at all to do with him. He could just be the conduit to her getting the status that she wants, to her going around saying, look at what I got. Look at what I got. Look at what he did for me. A woman is really, really beautiful. Okay? She gets accepted in life due to that beauty. So if she has negative characteristic traits, they often get looked over. To her, this means that she don't have to work on them. It's been acceptable in the world for a woman to come at a man. You're small, you were broke, and you were gay. So they try to destroy this man. Okay, so watch this. What you gonna say to a man to completely, utterly destroy him?
So we have the Rise family in the wine cellar. Okay,
Yes,
welcome. I am not drinking wine because I am on a detox with my winos. Okay,
Gotcha.
I'm gonna let you taste that. Is that okay? She tastes. Okay, let us know if the bottle is good. Let's see. I know this is my favorite.
I like it.
You like it?
Good.
All right,
Yes.
let's get it. All right, so I got water. Now, you know they're going to say I tricked y'all, because they're going to be like, oh, she ain't drinking, but y'all drinking, and then y'all go to spilling y'all whole wine. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, but that's okay. That's what the wine cellar is here for, okay? And I'm glad to have you. I was just telling you before the camera started rolling that I had reached out to you, Mr. Wesley, because me and you had some differences of opinion regarding the Latruth debacle online.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I saw that you had seen the video that I had did with him while I was in the airport. I was en route coming from New York to back to Florida, and we were doing like our just kind of a pre promo, so that people would come watch, his initial show.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what we did was, just to kind of give some backstory, was I ended up recording the video with him. Now, I had gotten the information that I had gotten from Brianna Latruth before he was even introduced. And so they had said that, she had been abused, and she kind of wants to do this rollout. She doesn't know any other, blogger, entertainer online that could kind of help spearhead this thing that she wanted to do to kind of help boost her YouTube career and stuff like that. And she wants to expose her husband for all the narcissism and abuse that went on and things like that. And that was really the first time that I had heard of anything regarding the breakdown of the Latruths. Now, you guys are pretty close.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your families are close. Okay, so that was interesting to me when I heard that, because once we, of course, I, declined to do what Brianna and her team wanted me to do, because that's kind of like asking me to compromise my integrity to help boost your ratings.
Absolutely.
And so, and I kind of felt like they kind of knew that I had picked up on what they were trying to do in regards to helping to brand her and spearhead her and build her, I guess, a presence on YouTube, because she was lacking on YouTube. She's really big on Facebook, but not YouTube. And so when I started doing some research, and I was like, yeah, she's really had this in the making, as far as like her trying to brand this YouTube channel. This was going on months before the allegations had came into play. And so I guess social media had got word of her reaching out to me. And I didn't know it was as big as it was online. Now everybody was like, wait a minute, Brianna faked this? And then Mr. Latruth dropped his video of her basically crying and making a fake police phone call. I'm gonna play all that for people who don't, understand what I'm saying.
Right.
A fake police phone call saying that he had a gun and, he was beating on her and all that stuff and following her and wouldn't leave her alone and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that's what prompted me to, he reached out to me. Mr. Latruth reached out to me, and I was like, we definitely need to talk, and we got him here. And so without doing extensive research on the family, I kind of just used a very, I wouldn't say brazen approach, but, based on her lying direct, like, and it was on camera and gave a very different narrative on what happened and the abuse that led up to it, I instantly took his side. It was a very biased perspective during our first initial interview.
Sure.
And so once I watched it back, and then I started to go back and kind of delve into some things about what Brianna was saying, I was just like, I think I kind of approached this wrong. You know, because although he may not have been physically abusive, you could still be mentally and emotionally abusive.
Absolutely.
And that could come in many different forms, right? And that's where that's when I was in the airport and I was like, hold up, I think I got this wrong. And I think both are wrong on both sides. I think that he's contributed to a lot of things that led to the breakdown of his marriage and vice versa. Right? But I also know what it's like to live and be around narcissists. Okay? Because narcissists can inadvertently drive people to attention seek. And I think that's what Brianna is doing. Is by any means necessary, please hear me because I have not been heard my entire marriage. And that's how I approach that conversation. Then I come across your live. And you were like, you know, you appreciated me reaching out. And but then you was just like, well, you were very taken aback by me asking for the reconciliation of the family. And I thought that was kind of hypocritical of you because, you know, you have a big family.
Sure.
Right? And I'm sure you guys have, you know, I've been married 18 years, right? We have conflicts, right? And they're not as extreme as some other conflicts or couples go through, right? Right. But we still have conflicts. But to add a third in there, and I was just like, well, if anybody knows the importance of reconciliation of a family and how important it is to keep the family together by any means necessary, that's where I was coming from. And so I was like, well, maybe we can agree to disagree on some things and come and hash it out like adults because I was shocked with you being like you know, you're very outspoken polygamist. Your wives are very supportive. This is a unit. I see the kids online. You know, like I said, y'all dressed alike. Right. You know what I'm saying? They all holding each other's hand. Y'all, it's like y'all got each other. That's right. I ain't gonna set y'all
That's
up.
right. That's right.
Okay. And so I just wanted to know, like, why did it shock you so much that I was for Brianna and for Mr. Latruth, Robert, to work it out?
Sure.
And there are like three kids involved, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you that.
Okay. Well,
Well, real quick, yes.
Okay.
Introduce yourselves.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm Jamie.
Okay.
You want to find me? Then you can find Jamie Today. And you can find me on Facebook, Jamie Today Rise with Purpose.
Okay. Now, are you first wife, second wife?
It depends on the dynamic. I've been here for a while. We have the 3 kids. We've been here over 20 years.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it. So within the dynamic, then Lacey would be first.
Okay. And Lacey?
I'm Lacey LeBeau. You can find me on Facebook at Afia Imara Rise, The Art of Becoming. And yeah.
Okay. How long have you been married?
Kevin and I have been married going on 3 years in March.
Okay. All right. And
I'm Kevin Wesley. You can find me on Facebook, Kevin Wesley Be The Evolution. Instagram, I am Kevin Wesley. Just Google Kevin Wesley, you'll find me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should have done them all the same, but
Okay. And combined, how many years have you been married?
So let's see. Have we been married?
It'd be 20 at the end of the month.
Because we were, 21, 20 years old, something like that?
We was
20 years old.
I'm 40 now, so
20.
if you carry the one, subtract.
Yeah, we was 20.
Okay.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
A long time.
Okay. But how long have you guys known each other, like, collectively? Like,
So Lacey and I have
of us.
known each other probably 4 years, but been married to 3.
Yeah.
okay.
The 3 of us as a unit, 3 years.
Okay. Now, you're just polygamous. You're not polyamorous or anything like that. Okay. All right. We just had a polyamorous couple in here last 2 weeks ago. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
I bet.
A lot of people get the 2 misconstrued. Totally different
Yeah, they can be very
lifestyles,
different.
even though they fall under polygamy as well.
Okay. And so, but you two definitely don't have any relationship with one another
No.
sexually.
Not romantically,
but,
no.
But as far as the family dynamic, you guys are considered sister wives, correct?
Right.
Okay. All right. And I'm sure you guys watch the breakdown of the Latruths online as well, too.
Yes.
Okay. And I just found out that you two are content creators as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mhm.
And is your following somewhat big, or I mean, how would you consider?
I wouldn't.
Where you at?
Well, not yet.
Okay.
Say I'm a little over 60. So I'm just starting.
Okay.
Say I started
To me,
probably
that
about
would
2
be a pretty
years.
big platform.
I mean,
About 2 years
that's pretty
ago, I
decent.
started.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's really decent.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And for you, Wesley?
Round about 150.
Okay.
About 2 years now.
Okay. And so you're the whole family, because I know you're definitely a content creator. That's how I found you.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the whole family dwells in content creation.
Mhm.
Okay. So everybody's pretty much a public figure.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And so you can relate very closely to
Yes,
the
ma'am.
Latruths.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
With both of them being content creators.
Absolutely.
Now, my husband is not that he's behind the scenes, because he run this whole shit,
Mhm.
right? But I just, it's kind of like, I kind of look at this like Bill and Hillary, right? And Bill was the first president, and then he had that controversy with,
Mhm.
you know, the dress and the semen and all that.
Mhm.
And then Hillary runs for president, and then there's
Mhm.
this controversy of emails and all that stuff. But you never seen them go at each other,
Right.
right? And so that's kind of where I was coming from
Mhm.
when it came to the Latruths, is that you got both that are public figures, both that are very heavy on social media, both that are equally contributing to the decline of the relationship, and both are extremely extreme when it comes to the response of all of that. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is given your background, given you've been married 20 years and then another 4 years, and you know you're dealing with 2 women as opposed to 1 woman. Why did you disagree with how I handled that promo and had to dial back and ask for a reconciliation of the family, a
Sure.
Black family?
Okay. And so
Yeah.
I'll say this. So
Okay.
regardless of you disagreeing with, I think some of the things, it's not really a lot.
Mhm.
I want to thank you for giving my brother a space to be able to speak.
Okay.
Okay. Because we live in a world where it's so easy to pick up a camera and just destroy a person.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and we just believe the first thing that someone says. Many of us have been through things, so our trauma overrides, and so we use that trauma to prove them right. We know they're telling the truth because we've been through it with somebody before. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so before you know it, the whole world was against him. You did not see him. Okay, he almost lost it. Okay,
You're talking about behind the scenes,
absolutely.
because I know he puts on a very, very good
Ignore it.
front.
I'm telling you. I know
Like,
my
he's
brother.
tough.
Okay, he wasn't that day. He wasn't during that time.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm watching him crumbling due to his wife, who he loves with all his heart. He loves that woman. Okay,
I know he does, and I saw that during our interview.
on the outside looking in, you
Yeah.
can see that she came into a relationship with 3 children, and he took on those 3 children.
Right.
You even see a video where he said, "I never even wanted kids." Now that's seen as him saying something mean, but he's saying, "I never wanted kids." He would have taken her in, raised her children without her giving him one. What? Would you do that?
With a man, no.
With a man, no. You wouldn't do it with a woman either. I love how y'all answer these questions.
With a man, absolutely not. I
And with a
always
woman,
avoided the
absolutely not, I'm
baby
sure of it.
daddies. I'm like, oh, you got kids? I'm out. Like, no disrespect. Now, maybe if I was, was everything okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe if I was divorced at an age like this now, it would be different. But during my youth, absolutely not. I never dated guys with children.
Imagine you're a young man, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't want children, then you should probably marry a woman with no children, right? Because if you raise those children and she's not going to give you one, then you're raising someone else's legacy.
Right.
All of the money and time, the teaching, the knowledge that you put into those children, while you may genuinely love those children, 100 years from now, those are not your grandkids that they're having. They're someone else's. And men everywhere are contributing to someone else's legacy. Why? They love the woman. Okay, I get it. But treat the man like something. Like stepfathers don't get treated like anything nowadays. So I'm watching her use the children, turn them against him. I'm watching him. I'm just watching everything crumble. Yeah. You understand? So, number one, I totally agree with, marriage reconciliation. Okay. It destroys the children to break up like that. They don't have their parents in the home anymore. Very horrible. But I also look at the person. I always say relationships are about the people in them. Yeah, I love my wives. We will be together, no doubt about it. But they don't do me like she did him. Mm-hmm. And as much as I love my wives, if they did me that way, we would not be together. And I would never do that to them. And if I did that to them, then they should avoid me at all costs. You have to think about your own well-being and protecting yourself. And you said at your own assessment, and even the things that she said to you, mm-hmm. she was trying to sabotage this man. She was trying to ruin him, build her brand off of him. How do you reconcile with someone who does that? How?
Have you ever been in a relationship with a narcissist before?
Well, we have many things that we can call narcissistic traits. I'll say this, I've never been with someone who was diagnosed as a narcissist. It would be unfair for me to say, but I have dated women who I would say seemed very narcissistic. Okay. So I can say that. Okay. Actually, when I was developing my poly relationship, Jamie and I were separated. I was dating Lacey and a couple of other women. A few of those behaved just like she did when I chose Lacey. I decided I wanted to be with Lacey instead of those other women. They went online, said a bunch of lies, called me broke, said they was paying for me to, just a bunch of the same stuff. Okay. So I've seen this happen before. What it did for me is it scared me. It made me say, okay, well, I'm already a public figure. Trying to date like a normal man, it isn't safe. A lot of them already have investments into dealing with you. And so if it don't go their way, they'll try to punish you for it because you're somebody. You understand? So these women were fine until I said, I don't want to be with you guys. I want to be with Lacey.
Had you laid down with any of those women?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you do take on the responsibility of why it went the way that it went.
Well,
as a Black man, as a leader, and I consider Black men the top.
Sure.
Of the top of the top, right? I'm talking about out of all men.
Sure.
And that is why you guys are attacked at every different angle. Okay. And so I'm reverting back to like my husband's dad, right? Mm-hmm. I love to use him as an example. 4 wives, right? Mm-hmm. But his family has always, even if there were like, I don't know, I'm sure that there were other women outside to get to those 4 wives, right? But the way we see women behaving now versus back then, it's like as a man, you have to take responsibility to some degree with whom you decide to lay down with, right? Mm-hmm. Before, to figure out that character before they take to social media to try to destroy you. It's kind of like knowing who you're laying down with.
Sure.
Okay? And Robert knew very well the type of person Brianna was.
I don't think so. I think he told himself a fantasy of who she would be. And men do that. See, a woman has an idea of marriage. Typically, it's a guy who's doing better than her resourcefully. And he comes and shares those resources with her, gives her a better life. He's tall, all this type of things. A man's idea of marriage is that woman loves him, that she is a unicorn, that she's special. That's what he thinks. He doesn't think that she's a liar, conniving, deceitful. He doesn't think that, or he would not marry her. He's going to walk around with her on his arm. He wants her to make him look good. This is why men don't marry women if he has value that lives like that. She doesn't make him look good. It would be an embarrassment. His peers won't respect him because he's married a woman of low value. So if he marries her, he thinks that she's a charm. That's what he thinks.
But we started off this conversation with Brianna being somewhat considered by men of low value with 3 kids. She's coming into a relationship with a man who's pretty much a bachelor, mm-hmm. who already has a social media presence. So, mm-hmm. I mean, so are we gonna blame, like, at this point, it's like Brianna's hand was open, right? It was kind of like, I'm coming as I am, right? This is what I'm coming with. And then they have a child together. Him using the excuse that he didn't know or couldn't see that to me is insane. Because you have to understand, when people come with that much baggage, you have to understand what comes with that, because she's been scorned before, obviously.
So from my eyes,
okay,
I could see it.
Okay.
And I tried to talk to him about that, but he loved her. See, I've dated a lot in my life, I met Jamie really young. We had a very long relationship, obviously. Okay. So I've dated other women. My brother always clowned me because I'm the type of person who will date. I'm not a hit it and quit it, one night stand type of guy. I've never done it in my entire life. Okay. So he always said, man, you like to just stay with women and stuff like that.
And we're talking about Robert, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the thing is, it taught me skills that helped me maintain a relationship. You understand? So I can see it, where he's been a Casanova his whole life. He's never had a serious relationship. So when he met Brianna, red flags that he would normally notice through trial and error, he doesn't notice them. And
that's where I was holding him accountable at, because
and I would hold him accountable there too, but that's in lack of knowledge. So so for us, we can see a woman of low value, right? Okay. So she has 3 children outside of him. Now, low value, not personality wise, right? Okay, because I would never paint this idea that a single mother is a bad person in any way. Right. Sometimes people have really been through stuff. Right. So that's why I say relationships are about the people in them. It's not a rule of thumb. Don't deal with women with children. But you need to vet her and understand what her thinking is like. And if she tells you what her relationship was like with her ex, you need to listen. If it's a whole bunch of trauma, then you need to really hear this. Right. Because even if she was done wrong, if she hasn't healed from that, you will have to pay for that. Right. That's not a good thing. And she's wrong for that, actually. We are always responsible for our own healing. If you put a Band-Aid on or a cast, it don't heal your wound or your bone. You do that. The cast just holds your bone in place, right? The Band-Aid just covers the wound to keep it from being infected. Your body is doing that healing. Even if you go to the doctor and get medication, if you have a terminal illness, when your body builds itself back, that's your body. The medicine don't do that. So when we come out of relationships, we go right back into one, taking all the experiences from that last relationship into this one. You're wrong for that.
And I asked him, I said, do you feel that your relationship was based on trauma? Like a trauma bond? And he said yes during our interview. And that's the first, I think that's the first step to acknowledging that I don't think there needs to be a separation. I think there needs to be a breakdown of everything that this relationship was built on and a reconciliation of how can we build from here. Right. Because both of us were entering, and I did recently see them do something together online. So,
which was horrible as well.
I didn't see.
If you're talking about the interview where they did or whatever. Yeah. It was a setup to call my brother a narcissist, even though she came on there and did a lot of the same things she's always done. When they got off, they were calling him a narcissist again. It's unreal. And she told him before the interview that it was going to be a setup. So she did an interview with those people the first time. They did not call my brother and ambush her so it could be fair. But when he did the interview, they called her and ambushed my brother so it could be fair. Okay. And then after the interview, this specialist, or she says that she's a specialist, some type of therapist, calls him a narcissist, diagnoses him on a public platform.
Yeah, you can't diagnose anyone. That's why I said it
was crazy.
We all have narcissistic.
He has children watching. He's trying to build this relationship that she destroyed with his daughter, and she's going to go on a public platform to say my brother's a narcissist. She has no care in the world for what this man is going through. Mm-hmm. I think Brianna paid her. I think she pays a lot of people. This is why I say you cannot build with this person. See, if you break Brianna all the way down to where it began, okay. She's wanting to build her platform. She's wanting to use him to do that. She's just simply the way she's treating him. Uh-huh. Okay, you take her back. This woman who literally tried to destroy everything y'all tried to build, tried to rip the children from you. I don't see a way to patch that. The person is gone. That person doesn't deserve a husband. He'll have to go through the heartbreak because he did not vet. He didn't vet. He shouldn't have been so googly-eyed at it.
I don't agree because, I mean, he went in with trauma. She went into a relationship with trauma. They both contributed equally.
What trauma would you say he brought in?
The trauma from his past, his mother and his wanting. Mom? Yeah.
He had no woman trauma.
And the trauma of him not having a relationship ever. So you're taking someone who is very inexperienced in relationships, and so he's putting himself with someone who's very experienced with having relationships.
Consider the leverage.
And then he constantly tells her, which he told me, and he said it over and over during our interview, and I had to go back and watch that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if this is what he was saying to her over the years, as a woman, I would probably crack somewhere too, right? Because she's already traumatized. And then you're reminding her every day that inadvertently that she's somewhat low value, or she should be appreciative that, you know, I put you on this pedestal. I'm taking care of your children. You did not have a platform before you met me. All of these things, right? And so it's like you go into childlike mode trying to prove yourself that you're better. So even though it was fucked up and I understood, you know, because I put myself in her shoes, like, why would she go to the extreme of trying to break him down? It's because she's trying to scream out to prove not only to herself, but to people who have traumatized her in the past, and even the public's perception that I am somebody, I am of value, despite me having 3 children, now 4, despite me having a breakdown in my relationship. Like, he constantly reminded her every day that she would have been nothing without him.
So,
and he said that.
It did not go that way. That's not an everyday type of reminder, okay?
Okay.
Whenever he's doing all that he can to make her happy, and he really was, okay? Now, it may be buying her things, taking her places, but that's what he knew to do. That's what she asked for. So when he's doing those things and she's still complaining, this man is now saying, let me put my value on the table. I do this for you. I do that for you. This isn't him rubbing it in her face. See, it's really difficult dealing with what I call an emotional terrorizer. Okay. You can try to explain to them your value, but it will come off as insulting them. So if he say, I do all this, and you're still ungrateful, to her, I'm ungrateful. Here's another thing I'm doing wrong. He has to literally tell you, I'm taking care of your kids. He has to say that. Whenever she's sitting here and she's emotional terrorizing, creating toxic, or just literally letting these toxic ideas that come to her mind, that she's building on him, she's sitting here thinking about how bad of a person he is. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. He's not doing this. I believe a good person, not even a good wife, but a good person, will remind themselves of all the things that he is doing. Okay, he's came into my life and he's given me a much better life. He's not cheating on me. He is a great father to my children. My sons get to see an example of a hardworking man. No, he isn't the example that my father was to me, an in-home father, but he is a great father nonetheless. Now, there are men out here who go off and be in the military and they die for this country, and we see that as great for giving your life for this country. I see it as cannon fodder. Okay? This man is being used to die for rich people, but the wife praises that. And when he dies, they bring home a nicely folded blanket, and he becomes a hero or flag, and he's a hero. But Robert, because he's created his own life and he doesn't have to go to work for somebody, now him going to work is neglecting her. He's been a workaholic. That's how he amassed all this platform and the wealth. So she comes into his life because she says, okay, this is a capable man, capable of leading me and my family, because if it's not that, you shouldn't have married him. So if you trust him to do that, why wouldn't you allow him to do that? He's already successful. He's proven himself by making you successful. You're now in a situation that you likely wouldn't have been in. She wanted to continue nursing. He talked her out of it. They argued about that. Here's what I'm saying. She comes into his life. She sees that he's a man of value, or that he has resources. He's accomplished enough for himself for her to deem him worthy, okay, of leading her. Now, this is what a wife should do. She gets with a capable man. I agree. Okay, so now he gives you advice. I don't want to hear that advice. I want to argue. That ain't peace. That's not peace. Baby, you want to go to work and work for all them hours whenever we can make more money if you stay home with the children and we create these videos. I already have the platform. I can help you build it. No, I don't want to do that. I want to be in healthcare. I get it. You want to be in healthcare. You got your goals and your dreams. I get all of that. But you finally listened to him. And now you see that he was right. Look at your life now. And you're still complaining.
But I mean, she could have had a great life as a nurse too. I mean, I have sisters that are nurses that make well over 6 figures plus.
They don't make what Brianna's making right now.
I get that, but I'm thinking Brianna knew what she wanted to be, and he talked her out of doing that.
Well, when you go become someone's wife, what do you think that is? If you say, okay, I see this man who's capable, but I like being a nurse. So say this man said, we need to move here. Well, I'm going to stay here and be a nurse. You have to understand, relationship is the most important thing that you're going to have. Your legacy is linked to that. When we become career oriented, we put careers over our family. That is not the way to be.
As a man. But as a woman, and see, this is where...
No, the woman put the career over her family. She said, I want to be a nurse. This is what I want to do. She married a man and then told him what type of job she wanted to do.
See, this is where we disagree now. This is where we disagree.
Well, listen, if you trust a man and you see this man is capable for you, if he's not the man for you, why would you marry him and then say, I don't want to leave my job? I don't actually truly want to trust you.
I don't think that has anything to do with trust. We're all like, what we contribute to this world, right, is a part of our being. If we're not contributing to the world in a way in which we feel that our higher power has called us to do as women, as mothers, as husbands, you know what I'm saying, as fathers, I mean, it's kind of like you almost don't want to live. Like, I believe 80% of the depression, when people are depressed or when they have things going on, that is directly linked to them not being or doing what it is that they want to do. And I think Brianna was inadvertently put into a position to make a choice. She wasn't ready for the amount of publicity that she got, because look what happened. This is nobody's fault but Robert's fault. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But Robert's fault.
It's Robert's fault. And I say this, okay, what do you do? What did you do for a living before you met your husband? I just want to ask you.
Well, I met him. I was in high school.
You was in high school?
Yeah,
okay.
So,
well, what did you do before you met your husband?
I was in the banking industry, basically.
Okay. So you did, I'm sure is that something that was that ever your dream job, to be a banker? Okay. What was your dream?
Honestly, to do what I do now.
Okay.
So, I always wanted to teach in some shape, form, or fashion. Okay. But I didn't know what that was going to look like, and I didn't have it figured out. So I was working in the meantime. But
you knew in your heart, like, what you were called to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Before your husband entered the picture.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's what I'm talking about. Brianna knew what she was called to do, which was nurse. Nurses are seen, not heard. You know what I'm saying? And for him, and this is where, and I'm not going to call him a narcissist. I'm just saying it's narcissistic traits when you don't take responsibility to see how you've contributed to the breakdown of your marriage. Because your wife was trying to go one way. And that could have worked with you still doing what you're doing and her being a nurse. Then guess what? Your entire bag would have been protected, because now you got two people that are in the limelight. One that doesn't have experience dealing with, social media and all the backlash, and then all the praises. And then she's reading comments of how great her husband is, and she's reading comments of how much he disrespecting you. And she's taking this all in at the guidance of her husband. Like, she wouldn't have been in this had it would have not been for him. So that's why I'm asking him, as a husband, what are you going to do to fix this?
So let's do this. If you go, I don't know how long you've been following her, what all you've seen.
I just had to go back and do my homework on probably a year, maybe 2.
Okay, well, there's videos where they've just gotten married. I think it was right at 6 years ago. She was working at Best Buy. She wasn't even in nursing. Okay. She went to school for nursing, and where she was living, she was a nurse. So she left that to move to be closer to Robert. Okay. Okay, because he married her, of course. Okay. She went and worked at Best Buy, and the nursing thing seemed like a means to an end, not a dream. You see what I'm saying? So whenever he mentioned to her, it'd be better for the family if you don't put in all those hours, and she wasn't working at the time. He was saying that it'd be better that you don't go back to work. Okay, so I can help you create this whole thing where you don't have to go back to work. She wasn't completely against that in terms of that's not my dream. Okay, so it was what she was used to. So this is what I do. I do nursing. I went to school for this. I don't want to be done wasted my time. He's trying to show her there's another way. Okay. Now, you may say, well, everyone has their hopes and dreams, and I believe that 100%. If that was her thing where she says, okay, I want to be a nurse, then I wouldn't say it's his fault that she quit. I would say it's hers. Since we're going to do that, she could just simply say, no, I'm not quitting. It's that simple. No, not because he didn't put a gun to her head. He asked her to quit because he had a better idea. That's what a loving husband would try to do. He's not trying to kill her dreams. He said, I got something even better for our family. We can both be home with our children full time and make more money than you ever thought. And they did that.
At the expense of their family.
At the expense of her. So watch this. This 6-year-old video, she was online mad then because people was commenting saying that she was using him. I work at Best Buy. I don't need him. If he left me, I'll be fine without him. One person commented, and she's on a video talking junk about him. This is how easily she is to be fueled.
Red flag that
now, hang on, now watch this. Even on this video, her own fans are saying, calm down, Brianna. It's not that serious. Calm down. She's like, no, I'm gonna do this. So her own fans are trying to calm her down off of one woman commenting something that she didn't like. It turned into a whole charade about him. This woman she's an emotional terrorist. She needs anger management. When she is mad, she does not know how to control it. This is what he was dealing with. A lot of the things that she was upset about, I actually agreed with her about. When they would call me about certain things, most of the time I was agreeing with her on the issue. So I would 100% understand that there were things he could have done better as a husband in understanding his wife. Mm-hmm. The way she handled being upset, it ain't nothing a man want to be around. People will get upset. People will have their feelings hurt. They'll be let down. If they came home and say they brought me food and I didn't like the food, if I got up and hit them, wouldn't you say that's not right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's.
All right, but if I just didn't like the food, that's okay, right?
Right.
Okay, so having an issue is not the problem. It's how they're handling it.
Right.
So she takes to social media to say he beat on me over an argument. He did not beat on her. She said he had a gun. He did not have a gun. She said he was following her. He was not following her. This woman is a liar. And now here you are. You're right here. You're like, okay, what is she going through? No. What is he going? He's sitting here right now. Hang on. He's sitting right now. She's on the phone with the police. Now, as a black man, you already know what that's right. Like, right?
I know.
So we could die, but she don't care. She gonna call and say he hit me and he got a gun. He could lose his life. He got 2 daughters, biological daughters, mm-hmm. that could be taken from him in an instant. Mm-hmm. He could go to jail. He could lose his freedom. He could lose his reputation. She doesn't care. It's only the heat of the moment, and I'm mad. So this ain't the first time she's done it. Years ago, I hated her. I wouldn't even talk to her because she called the police on him, and he told me about it. He wished he wouldn't have told me because I just got mad. I said, she did what to you? And he had me on speakerphone whenever he was telling me what she did to him.
You're shaking.
Yeah, just the anger, the rage, the fear. They can tell you, I was scared for my brother. I was tossing and turning in my sleep because he didn't leave her then. She called the police and said he hit her when he didn't. Like, those police could have came in there, guns loaded. And he's lucky they said, let me just check the place. He had a little weed in the drawer and got put on probation. For 2 years, couldn't leave the state, couldn't do his music, couldn't do anything. He stayed with her then. I said, you should have left then. She's called the police at least 4 times since then. Here's what he did wrong. He got all those calls recorded. He should have played them instantly. He let this thing ride all the way out to where it looks like he's in cahoots. Like, it almost looks like it's fake. He had the video of her fake crying the whole time. As soon as she went live and said that he was beating her, he should have just played that. But he's stuck on this thing where I'm trying to protect my family. Now he's lost his daughter, his oldest daughter, because she believes what Brianna is saying. So if he had just been honest and upfront about what she was doing to him from the beginning, maybe he could have saved that. But all this, I'm trying to protect my family. That's what ruined him. And I told him, I said, you should protect yourself with the same intensity that someone is trying to destroy you. Absolutely. If she say you beat on her, don't say, well, it was just a prank. Don't say that. Show the real thing. And since she did that, let's do that. You know you're innocent. Handle it like you're innocent.
I just feel that there were red flags way before social media came into the picture.
Yes, they were.
Okay. And
the 3 kids was a red flag.
And just the way she responded in general to even dating someone who was in the limelight. And then he turns around and talks her into being in the limelight, knowing that she's emotionally unstable and not ready for it.
And I'm absolutely sorry to cut you off there.
Through the DM. They
met through the DM.
Right.
On video vixen type stuff. So she was doing videos with one guy already. You can look this up. They have videos.
I know. I saw that. Yeah.
So this person who says she wants to be a nurse is dressing half naked to drive across town to get in somebody's video. It seems like she wants to be in somebody's video. It seems like that's what she wants.
It's like, that's what I'm talking about. Robert has to take full responsibility and aesthetically going after someone based on how she looks, because she's a very beautiful woman, right? And just ignoring the red flags because you want someone that looks good beside you.
You absolutely should. And this is why I said that what I disagree with you on was asking him on a public forum what he did wrong. Because when a relationship ends, okay, and if they had just said we're getting a divorce, and this was handled like mature adults, we wouldn't have a right to ask them, what did you do and what did you do? So this person said that he abused me, and it wasn't nuanced, it wasn't ambiguous. I mean, it was physical abuse. That's how she was making it. And I know this because I commented on there. I commented on my page, I have never known my brother to hit a woman. I made it clear, hit a woman.
I don't see that coming from Robert as well.
Right.
Just coming into contact with him.
Right.
But he is very self-absorbed.
But watch this though. I want you to see this, okay? So I typed in, he does not hit women. I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
She made a video and said, you don't live with him. You don't know him like I know him, right? And then I made another video saying if someone says someone hits them and don't say what they did, ignore it. They're lying. Because if someone was truly victimized, they'll say exactly what happened. She never said what happened, just he hit me. So she saw this video, and that's when she made her video giving the details of what she went through. And what she went through was what he went through. Now, he wanted her to come in and clean. He wanted some affection. She didn't want to do that. He shouldn't have went to her saying about joking about love and hip hop. I'm gonna go outside the relationship. And I told him, you're wrong for that. You should have never joked like that.
Yeah.
But then she wants to go through his phone. She couldn't take no for an answer. So she proceeds to wrestle him for his phone. But she says, we're wrestling. No, you're wrestling. He's standing there, you're trying to take his phone. You're wrestling him for his phone and can't get it. When she couldn't get it, she went and got mace. Came back out, grabbed this laptop, like if you approach me for this laptop, I'm going to mace you. If this was the other way around and a man was doing this to a woman, we wouldn't even be sitting here having this conversation. We wouldn't be. But she maced him. He's swinging a pillow to keep the mace from hitting him. But she's saying, oh, he's abusing me with a pillow. Anyway, once it all comes down to it, I never said it was physical. I said it was verbal. You clearly said it was physical. But then she went back to saying it was physical again, even after that. Think about this. She got angry, called me gay, right? Right after that, she says, I'm sorry for calling you gay. And then right after that, she went right back to calling me gay again. This is what I'm saying. And this is what he would always say. Dude, she will apologize. Because I called him, bro, she's saying she's sorry. Why don't you build with her, give her another chance? And I said that this recent time, he said, man, she's lying. After that phone call, when she called me, I recorded it. I called him and said, bro, I let him hear it. He said, nah, she's lying. She'll apologize. And when I go back home, she'll treat me the same way. And I said, bro, it's never happened to this degree. Her reading those comments, you don't think that she will have grown from making this mistake? He said, absolutely not. And he was right. Because the next day she was back online saying his penis was little, he was broke, he was all of this. So a person will apologize. That should mean they realize they're wrong, right? But if they'll redo that thing to you again, are they sorry for their behavior? See, think about this. Kevin, you're gay. Absolutely not gay. But you're saying that why? Because I asked you about this abuse thing? You're changing the subject, number one. But I'm sorry for saying that. Then as soon as she gets mad at my brother again, go suck your brother's thing. That's what she told him. Now she's online saying he's verbally abusing me. But what we see is her verbally abusing him. We've never seen a video of him say, you're this and you that and you this and you that and your coochie stink and this and this and that and you got a fake body. And he could do that. He could very well do that, but he didn't. She's doing that. And why did she do that? Because he posted a picture of himself in underwear. So a narcissist thinks they have a right to punish you. So he posted a picture of himself in underwear. She says, oh, you the one that posted that picture. Don't be mad now because I said you got a vagina because people are asking me if you were growing out a show. Don't be mad at me. Like, if a man was saying, don't be mad at me because you posted that picture of you in a bathing suit and everybody asking me, is it real or it fake? Yeah, your ass fake. I remember carrying you back from the place. And you was laying on your stomach crying.
No, you can't spill that wine now. Come on.
No. As a man, if you wanted to do that, okay?
Okay. Look at you.
Now, look. Look, watch this. Because it's easy, and it's been acceptable in the world for a woman to come at a man. You're small, you were broke, and you were gay. So they try to destroy this man. Okay, so watch this. What you gonna say to a man to completely, utterly destroy him? His penis is small. He's gay. Or he's broke. These are the three main things you would dig into. So what would you say to a woman to destroy her? She can't get another man. Nobody will want you now. He did not do those things. So she completely came for his value in every step of the way. Now watch this. Nobody's on a camera. Nobody's there with her. So she retaliates. These arguments they get into, and she seems to get really crazy. And we say, what is he doing to fuel her? Well, he ain't doing nothing to fuel her. She's just on live. She is a little bitty square phone in front of her. And she's just standing in front of it talking shit. Who made her mad this time? This woman, when I try to tell you guys, like, you have to understand who this person is. And then it exposed a lot of things that my brother can work on. But I can tell you this, if he had any type of woman, like what I have, we wouldn't be sitting here today. Those issues surfaced on him because he did not know how to handle a woman like that. He's a good man. He'll take you and try to give you the world. And that's what that shows. Even if you have kids.
I feel like black men, you know, and especially in the United States.
So if he's a narcissist, I'll tell you what, a lot of women would take that. He gonna come into my life, give me the world. This narcissist is gonna give me the world. Make my life totally different. Love my children. Be a father to my children, even though their father isn't a father to their children. If the man I laid down and had children with was not there for my children, it would break my heart. Because I know my children's heart was broken. So I would love a man who came in and gave my children something that he don't have to give them. I wouldn't criticize him. I wouldn't judge him. I wouldn't keep telling him what he wasn't doing for me. I would see the value in him. So the stuff that he has to keep saying to prove his value, she should be recognizing on her own. Any person in that situation should have saw that man's value. With no kids, you should have saw that man's value.
And see, that's where I kind of disagree. Because men, especially black men, y'all aesthetically go after women who you know and ignore what they could possibly come with. Like, he knew all of that meeting Brianna through the DM. He knew all of that when she came and she was a video vixen. He knew all of that the moment he took her from the DM into the house. He knew all of that the moment she started responding negatively to his fans, and that's how he makes his money. He knew all of that the entire time and constantly reminded her, I'm doing this for you. You would not be anywhere without me.
And he's only saying that so she will treat him nicer and see his value.
But that's not how you get anybody to treat you nice. Like, oh, look what... Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. If a man came to you and said, you should be thankful that I'm here for your children. You should be thankful that you live in a good life. You know? You should be thankful for all this. Do you take that as him truly appreciating you, although the action alone is enough? Or do you feel like he's throwing that in your face or saying that it could have been, like, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me? Like, do you see that as genuine?
Yeah, I would say it depends on what I did previously.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I would only, I guess, feel like I would hear those words if I'm not doing my part.
Okay.
Like saying, if I'm not holding up myself, being the wife, being the mother, taking care of my responsibility, my role, then I would expect to hear somebody be like, listen, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this. Like a reminder. It's like we're a team.
But he married someone that obviously didn't believe in a lot of the things that he didn't believe in, because he said for himself, he didn't believe in marriage.
Sure, he didn't vet correctly. He didn't believe in marriage. That's a bad, he didn't want marriage. He didn't see marriage. He didn't believe in love. All that's ambiguous stuff. The man got married. He fell in love. He got married when he fell in love. He didn't believe in love till he felt love. So when he did, he didn't hesitate. Man, listen, okay, a lot of men would have rolled that thing all the way out and never married that woman, even if they did care about her. He didn't play about it. He married this woman inside of 3 months. Now, we would say salute to a man for dating with reason, for not playing this woman. So you showed her a different way, and she didn't have any good faith. She brought 3 kids into a relationship, and you didn't sit here and judge her and say, wait a second, you got a lot with you. Instead, he took her on good faith. But she came in this thing with no good faith. Now, he has to prove himself to her. And whenever she comes down on him, he has to say to her, yo, I'm doing all of this. You should be grateful. Now, watch this. Shouldn't she be thankful? I'm there for your children. You should be thankful. What's insulting? Watch this. He's there for her children. That's huge. Shouldn't she be thankful? Watch this. Watch this. I cook food for you. I put a lot into it. I try all these recipes to make the best meals for you. You should be thankful. Now, watch this. Babe, why didn't you get that spot up? Why didn't you get that piece of thing up there? I go over here and just find something wrong. Why are you always trying to do that? Why are you coming here nitpicking to find something wrong? I've done this and I've done that. You didn't notice these things? I'm there for your children. I'm cleaning up behind your children, and you mad at me because I missed one thing? He get mad about that. What you say? Did you just throw up in my face that you was there? Come on. She's trying to reason with the brother. She's trying to tell him, yeah, you found something that I left. You think I intentionally left that? You think this is time for you to pick me apart about this thing I left? So now she's like, look, did you not notice all these other things that I'm doing? No, he didn't notice that. You know why? He has a negative mind. People, emotional terrorists, they are moody for whatever reason. And women are more moody than men just because of your biology. So I often try to tell women, learn how to meditate. The energy that you're feeling is not because somebody did something to you.
But men, y'all talk more shit than we do. And
okay.
I grew up in barbershops.
Watch this.
I grew up in barbershops.
Before we deal with that, watch this.
Y'all can say one thing and know how to emotionally terrorize us to set us off.
That statement has nothing to do with my brother, and we'll come back to that. You just went to what men do broadly at a barbershop. This is what I'm saying. I'm speaking specifically about this situation.
I grew up in barbershops, and men, y'all
hear stuff and make it something. So watch this. You should be thankful.
But if it's coming from
you said I should be thankful. You said, so watch this. She came to him with a bunch of complaints. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing that. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing that. That's the insults. This man wants peace. He's not getting peace. He's provided for you. He's there for your children. You come and all you're finding is the things he's not doing. Here's why. You're unhappy on the inside. So you have to find why you're not happy. And that gets projected on the person that you live with. If he was an emotional terrorist, it would all get projected onto her. Whatever she's doing wrong, whatever mood he has, he's going to put that on her. This is how people are. They're not positive minded.
But it doesn't sound like Robert genuinely loved her. I think that he was aesthetically. I do. I think he was. I think he grew to love her. I think he grew. I think he grew to love her. You can't fall in love like that in 3 months.
What do you call love?
What do I call love?
Yes.
Love to me is a feeling that.
A feeling. Now, good. You're good. A feeling. Now watch this.
No. Because seriously. Yeah. Because I can love people and not want to be around them.
Sure. But right? Here's what I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Love is a doing. What if I told you that? Because watch this. Here's what men often have to deal with. We'll be doing the things that we're supposed to do. Providing, protecting, leading. But she wants to argue what feeling we have or don't have in our chest. And I keep saying, that's the number one thing an emotional terrorizer will do. Have you arguing about the nuance, the ambiguous. You can't prove your love other than showing it to her. So we call love an action word. Love is doing things for each other. That's what creates a harmonic union. You're willing to sacrifice these things to do things.
Because I do things for people that I don't love, right?
Well, here's the thing. If love is working together. The moment I don't love you and if I stop working with you, that's the moment that we can say the love goes. Because the feeling in your chest don't do nothing for nobody.
Not necessarily. When I look at a person, complex.
Hang on, let me say this. Give me 2 seconds. Watch this. If I see a person and fall in love with them, love at first sight, what did they feel? Nothing. I felt it, right? So the love that I feel is for me. I get joy from the love I feel for a person. Right. Absolutely. But they can't feel that love. So it's up to me to display that love. So through my actions, I show them how much I love you. Now, this person that can't feel your love will stand there with the audacity and say, you don't love me. We should never argue about stupid stuff like that. It should be, what are you doing in the marriage? Are you working with me? Who sits here and wonders if a person's sitting over there with love in their chest? Yo, if you treat me like I want to be treated, if you support me, if you do things for me, then that will be love. We'll call that love. But I'll be sitting here playing in my mind and tormenting myself if I think about on the flip side, do she really love me? Okay, say all the things my wives do to show me they love me. Okay. What if I'm on the inside saying, what if they really don't love me? I mean, I do pay for everything. I do give them a life. What if they're just using me? Okay. Now, through that, I'm going to be like, are you using me? How would that feel?
I mean, I wouldn't feel appreciated. I wouldn't feel seen.
Now, you're telling me you love me, though. Mm-hmm. And you're doing all the things that would show me you love me.
Absolutely.
But I think you're using me. Right. I don't think you actually love me.
Right.
How would that feel to you?
It would be heartbreaking.
How would you express to me that you love me?
How would I express that I love you?
Because love is a feeling. I'm not seeing it.
I mean, through action, definitely. Through action. Through consistency.
So if the actions that she's doing is not causing me to feel love, then the problem is with me. See, like here's what someone will do. If I'm not happy, it's your fault.
But love is something I don't think any being can really explain. It's just,
right. That's why you have to say it's an action. If you can't explain it, then it's just gonna be something that can't be explained. You're gonna question.
Okay, let's just simplify it for a second. Mm-hmm. I love a movie, right? I don't have to, I could play that movie, but I don't have to go and seek out the producers to say, I love this movie. I just love this movie. It needs no
Which is nothing. It's just your feeling.
Right.
That's good.
Okay. I love my husband. I don't necessarily have to.
Food. I love food. Fish.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So I
See
love
how love
fish.
gets reduced to like, I love my husband. I love fish. See, because you watch. Watch this. Do you love fish or do you love eating fish? Do you want to save fish?
No, I love fish.
No, you love fish.
I love looking at fish.
Right.
I love petting fish.
And you love the taste of fish?
I love the taste of fish and everything. Right.
Does the fish feel loved when you're eating?
Probably because it just
no,
I
did.
But what I'm saying is, I think sometimes we equate love, and I was just talking to my husband about this the other day. Mm-hmm. It's like this generation. Let's take this generation. Oh, I'm okay. Let me make this a little simpler. My daughter got this little boy she likes in class, right? He's funny. You know what I'm saying? He's not black or whatever, but she's like, I don't know why I like him. He's just funny. But I'm not gonna like let him know that I like him because he's not black and he's a freshman. So I was like, what? Right? And I was like, that, but Tom, too, there was something about the boy that you liked that had nothing to do with his grade or his color, right? There was something that attracted you to him. I said, what was that? Well, he's funny and he's easy on the eye. Okay. So is she going to go display that love? No, because she's saying, well, the doing is in, well, he's not black and he's a ninth grader. So I'm going to discount that and not focus on my feeling and what spiritually attracted me to him because of aesthetics, because of this, and this. And I feel that's where everything gets misconstrued, is when men equate love to doing.
Well, they have the feeling.
There are plenty of women.
They have the feeling too.
There are plenty of women that are in love with men who don't do.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. And it's probably because they don't love. This is what I'm trying to say. No. Like you as a woman, I think as women, we love a lot more complex than men. Men, you guys have always tried to bubble love into this. What I do for you, I'm out at work, I'm doing this. And we're like, no, that's really not love because you're not, I'm not emotionally connected to you. That means she's
so
not
which
in love.
means if like the roles will reverse, women will love you even if your dick didn't work. And this is very true. And they look, she's sitting here, she's agreeing. Your dick didn't work, you didn't work. Whether you take care of the kids or not, because there are some sorry ass women around here who have men around their children and those men are not doing anything for those children. But for some odd reason, she is spiritually connected to this man. So it doesn't have to go along with a doing. It's an unexplained feeling that that connection that's bigger than us. Because if it wasn't bigger than us, we would be able to let go and let God, but we don't. We stay in situations simply because we love them. I love him. Yeah, he be out here dragging me, cheating on me, taking my car, having other bitches in my car, you know what I'm saying, forgetting to pick up my son. And a man doesn't have to do shit. So
maybe she loves that negative treatment. You see?
No.
Well, look, okay, watch this. I love him even though he treats me like crap. I have positive feelings in my chest for him even though he treats me badly, less than my actual value. Watch this. This love ain't doing nothing but getting you in trouble. See, I was just saying this. We shouldn't let our emotions lead us. Because you love somebody doesn't mean they should be able to treat you like crap. You can love them with all your heart, but if they don't meet your standards, you got to move around. And that's where he failed as a man. Whenever she didn't meet his standards, because he loved her, I love her. He even said it, man. If she hadn't went online, we would have been cuddling and making up that night. I love her.
Brianna just had.
So if you love somebody, then you okay. Watch this.
Brianna had 3 kids and good pussy. That's what he fell in love with.
See, but you said fell in love, right? Okay,
that's
good. But he loved her. But you can reduce that all you want. Watch this right here. I'll tell you this right here, Tasha. Watch this. Tasha, watch this. Tasha, I think that's the problem. Is a lot of women do not understand men. Y'all don't have female spaces to talk about men, to literally discuss who we are on the inside, okay?
Okay.
Let's say a man loves you because of your looks. Beautiful, nice body, whatever, right? That's what he loves. At least that's you. Guess what? That's the only thing that's you. That's you. That's your ancestors. That's you 100%. Y'all have reduced that to, oh, that's lame. Meanwhile, you're looking at this man right in front of you and he has to find all these other reasons to make you like him. And so by the time you like him, it's not because of that. So who really loves who? When he sees this woman and he doesn't know her from a can of paint, he sees her as beautiful. He feels a feeling inside of his chest, and that feeling is love. At that moment, he'll give her the world. This is how men feel when they see a woman, because it's biology. Why do you think a man would do that? He doesn't know her. He has no reason to say, okay, well, hey, I like you. You're pretty. Let me take you out and prove to you why you should like me. He doesn't know her. Why doesn't he instead say, you're very beautiful. You meet my standard of aesthetics. I would like to take you out to see if I actually like you.
That's why I said it.
And what I expect is for you to make me like you too, because this ain't no. If you got to like me first too. Like, what if I said, okay, before you even go out on a date with me, you have to also be interested in me. I'm taking the game out of it. You don't get to play deceitful and play the cat and mouse game where I'm chasing you. We're gonna equally put forth effort to get to know each other and make each other like each other. So if I'm worthy to be your husband, that's the only reason why you would even date me. If you're worthy to be a wife, that's the only reason I would even date you. So we're going to approach this thing with giving equal effort to building a future. We're not going to get started off on the wrong foot where she is in her mind, well, what if he's using me? And in his mind, I'm trying to prove to I ain't using her. So in his mind, he's trying to prove himself. In her mind, she's questioning him. This is not an equal playing field. She needs to get rid of her trauma and go in good faith. Hang on, we shouldn't go into any relationship saying, well, what if they do this? What if they do this? Decisions made out of scarcity and lack. Well, if I like this person, I really like them, but what if they cheat on? Get that out of your head. Work with the person. If that happens, move around. But we're moving out of fear. It's not healthy.
But we are talking about Robert.
Sure.
And Brianna.
And he saw a woman, fell in love with her. You can say where it was just nice body. Did you see her back then? She didn't look the same.
Brianna was always beautiful, I think.
Okay, well, I know my brother. Okay. He's always been with pretty women. Okay. Always. He had money.
She was pretty?
He had money. He's always been with pretty women.
Okay.
So he never had a problem getting a woman.
Okay.
And I think we should know that he ain't an ugly dude and he's got money.
Yeah.
And he's worldwide known. Women would throw themselves at that guy.
Yeah.
So it ain't men who throw themselves at women because they're famous. It's women who throw themselves at men because they're famous. Mm-hmm. So we know what his life looks like. Let's be real. She ain't the prettiest woman that ever crossed his path. He said they bonded over their mamas. Their mamas. So we can't reduce that. So he felt like he loved this woman. He felt like they had an understanding. You have your mother with you?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't. She doesn't. Mm-hmm. I can tell you now, losing a mother is horrible. He lost his early. She lost hers late. It rekindled a lot of his pain, and they built off of that. So he's seeing a broken person, and this is what got him. The damsel in distress. She's been hurt before. She's been this. She's been that. Her mama passed on, and he can relate to that. So he sees a broken person. So hang on one second.
Was he not broken though?
Hang on. He's successful. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
He sees a broken person, and he might connect with her because he's broken through that brokenness. Mm-hmm. But in his brokenness, he hasn't had any relationship to expose whatever issues he's had. But he hasn't had any relationship. He hasn't. He just has his mother passing away. So he hasn't had any traumatized relationships. She's been beat on in relationships, so she says. Okay? She's had all this same exact stuff, literally, same exact stuff. You get it?
Yeah.
Verbatim happened to her in another relationship. It's kind of crazy how she found the same exact, seemingly person, right? The last dude sicked the dog on her. It's unreal, okay? That these mean guys keep doing that to this good girl, right? Who tried to set my brother up. I don't see how she's that much of a good woman. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So I see something totally different. A man sees a woman, he sees her broken, he sees her hurt, he wants to build her up and show her that men are good, that we're not all people you cannot trust. And men will take a woman on with trauma because he believes he can prove that to her. But he can't, because life is about projection. You cannot be that type of guy. But because she's been through that, it's hard for her to see you. And if she doesn't heal, you're in a lose-lose situation. And he was in that. He didn't cheat, but she was worried he was going to cheat. Why? Because she'd been cheated on. But he had never cheated. She can tell you, I've never caught him cheating. I've never caught him in anything that was similar to cheating. Even when she went through his phone, what she found was conversations about working. She actually started commenting to the girl like it was him trying to be freaky. And the girl said, "What? This is new from you. Why are you talking to me like that?" So it's clear. That's why she didn't go into what the messages were in the phone. So, and he always gives her his phone. Just imagine this. I'm going to take care of you. Take care of your children. I'll always give you my phone anytime you doubt me, even though I haven't done anything to be doubted for. Now, I always say, bro, if you did something for her to doubt you, instead of not giving her your phone, just show it. It would earn her trust. It wouldn't be like just leaving her sitting here hurting because, hey, we shouldn't be going through each other's phones. If I did something to cause you to question me because I love you and I'm loyal to you, I'm going to show you. I'm not going to sit here and make a big deal out of it. He was doing that. So when you got a man who's doing all of that and we still trying to blame him, we have to say, okay, look, when the relationship ended, let's say he wasn't an adequate husband. He didn't have the necessary skills to get along with a woman. Mm-hmm. Okay, then the relationship ends. And it's not this big, huge thing where he's beating on her and all this type of stuff is going on. We wouldn't be talking about it. So this is why I'm saying this person comes out and says he's a physical abuser. He wasn't. We don't need to have any more questions for that man. At the end of the day, the relationship is broken. It ain't getting back together. So sure, he probably did some things wrong, and we can guarantee you she probably did too, because in a relationship, people do wrong things. We all gonna do something that will make the other person upset or something that we should apologize for. We can all see that. But did he physically abuse her? No. Relationships end all the time due to irreconcilable differences. She tried to say it was due to abuse. It wasn't. If she says it's verbal abuse, wouldn't you agree that they're both verbal abusers if he is verbally abusing her? Would you say she's innocent of that?
Absolutely.
She's blatant. He don't even have to say she verbally abuses me, does he?
No.
She has to say it because we can't find video of him doing it.
Well, there was recordings.
You mean the recording where he said, I refuse to let a B talk to me like that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that sounded horrible. Yeah. But then I'll tell you what, when I listen to that video, I'll be like, bro, why you let her bring that out of you? You're supposed to be the example. That's what a leader is.
Exactly.
You shouldn't let her bring that out of you. But Kevin, I'll put up with it for hours and hours and hours. And when he says that, I gotta understand. Because there's so many other men who would have handled that much, much worse. So he ended up giving her back what she gave him, which is not indicative of a good leader. A good leader will be insulted and not insult back. That's what a good leader will do. A bad leader will show you exactly what that feel like. And because you're not a leader, you won't be able to handle it like he is, like he will. It'll just get worse.
And so that goes back to my initial question to him. What did you do?
That was what he did.
Contribute?
He responded to the bullshit. Think about this. You small, your dick little, you a Vienna. Okay, watch this right here.
But he married a woman he met in the DM.
Does that mean he deserves to be called all those names? Regardless of where you meet a woman, should it end like that? No, regardless of where you met.
Y'all gotta be more responsible. It's like meeting a woman at the strip club. I'm about to take her home and she my wife, and you mad at how she's acting at family picnics. He didn't meet her at the strip club.
He met her in the DMs. So now listen, meeting someone in the DMs is not. I met her in the DMs. Am I setting myself up for?
But I'm sure her profile didn't read Video Vixen.
Yeah, no. So let's keep on moving the goalposts.
Exactly.
So relationships are about the people in them. That's what I keep saying. It's not about how you met. It's about who you met. And watch this. The things that would typically be a red flag to a man who's been out here dating before, he's not gonna notice. So he's sitting here trying to figure this book out. He's sitting here reading this book all the way to the end to figure out what it's about. Now watch this.
And that's why I was asking him, what did you do to contribute to the breakdown of the relationship? And I was saying, you've never been in a relationship. So you can't say that this was your best. You can't say that you treated her the absolute best because you don't have no experience to go off of. And then when you're telling a woman that I am your best, that could really do something to her psychologically. And that's why people are saying that it's coming off as narcissistic. I don't know if he's narcissistic. I don't know. I know he's self-absorbed. I'm a creator, so I get it. As a creator, we're always in front of the camera. We're always trying to figure out what we're going to do for that content. So I get it. And I'm like, if this is what, and I'm going to be honest with you, being with Robert for 24 hours was very difficult for me because it was all, I was just like, are we going to have a conversation? Or are you going to look at yourself in the mirror and gloat yourself and boast about yourself? You see what I'm saying? So I'm just like, was this what and then when I go back to listen to her videos, I'm seeing that same behavior.
That's what she loved. This is what I'm saying. She loved that confidence and that big boastful personality. She loved that. Now all of a sudden it's like, some women will be turned off by that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But that's what she loved about him. This is what I would say. A narcissistic trait isn't necessarily a negative. Narcissistic traits can help you be more successful in life.
Right.
So
I mean, it
how
goes
you treat
hand
someone
in hand,
okay, so narcissistic disorder, personality disorder, is when you're self-serving to the point of ruining other people to get what you want. I call it killing the world to save yourself, destroying the world to save yourself.
Right.
So everyone is to blame except for you. There's no work to be done on your side. Serious question. Whenever she was calling the police to say he beat on her and that he had a gun, would you call that abuse?
As far as her calling the police on him?
If the police come and kill him, if the police lock him up and take his freedom.
That's abusive, and I'm not...
No, I'm saying, what would you call it? Is that verbal abuse or likened to physical abuse? What can a woman do to a man that's equal to him punching her in the face?
That's physically abusive.
Right, now watch this.
Yes.
He's a physical abuser, but she was physically abusing him. She could have cost him his life.
Right.
So what did he do wrong? Okay, watch this. Man slaps the crap out of a woman. Ask her what she did wrong. No, right? No, I'm not asking her what she did wrong because either way, he shouldn't have hit her.
Right.
So either way, she shouldn't have done that. So why are we asking him what he did wrong? You sitting here asking this man who was victimized by somebody what he did wrong. Let's say she got a smart mouth. All she do is complain, talk, get on his nerves. He don't have a right to slap her in the mouth. He should leave. Say that she's nothing what he married, nothing what he expected. He don't have a right to beat her up. He should leave. That's what she should have done, was left. Right. But instead she left and said, he beat on me. He wasn't a good daddy. Yo, what is wrong with you?
I think, and to Brianna's only defense.
So I saw him crying and he was literally a puddle on the floor. I'm not asking that man what he did wrong. That question might kill him.
I get that. And so that's why in that video, I'm like, listen, like you have to take some responsibility into the breakdown of your relationship and how did it get here? And look inside self, right? And Brianna has to do that too. And I think once you guys both do that and understand how to create boundaries as content creators and as parents, I do think that they should reconcile on some point, because at the end of the day, whether they divorce or not, they're still going to have to co-parent. What is that going to look like? So I would rather them figure this out now while they're married and then decide when they're not heated, when they're not angry, whether or not they're going to dissolve this family versus doing it in a heated moment. And that's when I'm like, don't you guys want to wait until you're not tit for tat? Restraining order, calling the police, you know, all this back and forth. Like, shouldn't you guys wait until that's calmed down? And shouldn't you, as a Black man, not respond to the bullshit anymore? The moment you stop responding, her story gets louder. When it gets louder and you're not responding, everybody gets to hear everything from her. Then guess what happens? Inconsistencies are heard, right? You over here.
By whom? Who hears these inconsistencies?
And her. Like it was so blatantly when he was
it so blatantly? What are people still saying?
When he was quiet. No.
Like, look at the world. Even with all of her videos, because they still can't see it.
Because he's responding.
So his response took away from them knowing she was a piece of shit.
Yes.
So let's say a woman said he beat on me, and then she responds. That takes away from.
He should have just put out the video and backed away.
No, don't get me wrong. I agree. He shouldn't have carried it out like that.
Right, and went and handled.
He should have proven everything straight up and protected himself.
Right, just by the receipts, but just all this back and forth.
Absolutely, I agree. No. But it shouldn't take away from her Okay, so I do agree with you that he shouldn't have responded. So don't take me wrong. I do agree with you on that. As a Black man, right? He shouldn't. But that response though shouldn't take away from the inconsistencies that she has painted.
It makes them
she should
louder.
Still be under our eye.
It makes them louder. I saw bloggers such as myself that had nice sized platforms defending Robert heavily. Mm-hmm. But when he kept feeding it, it was kind of like, now they got to make more blogs.
Right. I would say that's a problem.
Then if he's separating himself from the conversation that's going on and just going into himself and figuring out how am I going to figure this all out without involving the public, right? Brianna looks crazy. She looks crazy. At this moment, you're responding to bloggers and you're responding to people in the comments. Your husband is nowhere to be found in this. So all this stuff that you're saying, I deal with this all the time. It just makes it more messy because when he says something, she goes acting victimized and trying to make it bigger than what it is. And it just feeds the confusion. So that's why I asked him, what can you do? What have you done to contribute to the dissolving of your relationship. Go back and look.
There's plenty of things he could have. Well, see, I keep saying relationships about the people in them. With a normal woman, there are many things he could have done.
Who's to say she ain't normal? Because she may be normal to somebody else.
I've been on the phone with them.
She may be normal to somebody else.
Tasha, I've been on the phone with them.
Yes.
Okay, listen, I'm on the phone with my brother one day. He's telling me about how he feels like he can't chase his dreams. Every time he tries to go create a tour for himself for music, she starts complaining and tripping. He's in tears telling me, I can't even live my dreams, bro. She was out of town doing a modeling thing. Flew to California to do a modeling thing. He didn't get in the way of that. He's saying she's doing her thing. Why she won't let me do mine? She was listening on the intercom in the house. I would have thought a normal wife would have said, I did not know you felt that way. I don't want to get in front of your dreams, babe. I want you to be happy. No. She said, well, oh, I'm in front of your dreams, well, then leave then. I don't want to be with you anyway. You can do it. I don't care. She got mad. She just talked shit. I listened to the whole thing. I hung up because it just got too hard to hear. He didn't respond with anger. He was just like, no, ain't nobody bad mouthing you. You didn't hear the things I was saying? Now I've been listening for an hour. All you doing is saying I ain't doing this and I ain't doing that.
Because of her insecurities.
There may be a reason, but I'm saying a normal woman would have said, my husband is expressing concerns with me. Let me show empathy like I'm supposed to have and say, okay, babe, I'm sorry you feel that way. I didn't know I was making you. Why is it handled like I'm fussing at you? If a woman's telling someone, if a woman's telling her sister,
because all she hears to her defense is he's having this conversation with somebody else.
His brother. How many conversations? Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Okay. If he can't go to his brother, okay, his brother, who she calls when she has an issue. If she goes to her friends, that's okay. He don't mind that. He lets her do that. Mm-hmm. So this man can't have nobody to talk to. But I can go build relationships with brand new ass people that I don't even know. Okay. Fly them to my house to clean my house and share information with them that could ruin my relationship. And they're going to go live with it and share this. I'm going to send them recordings. These is not her brothers. Did you know you never saw her real sister? I found that out from you. I thought that was her real sister. It's a fake sister. And she says, we're sisters. Like, this is really my brother. She's just saying that.
Yeah.
So when I watch this stuff, it's like, I see, I wish that we could step away from it.
Now, how are you and, y'all have the same mom, you and Robert? Or?
Both, same everything. Same mom and dad.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
y'all look similar, but different, though.
I always hear that. We grew up in the same home.
Okay.
Mother died when we were 3 years old. Our grandmother raised us. Okay. Until we was around 14, 15. She couldn't keep us anymore. She got way too sick. And we actually lived on our own since we were 14, 15 years old. Oh, wow. Yes, ma'am.
Now, how do you, y'all didn't get along with Brianna? Did you get along with Brianna as
No, we never had words
in-laws?
with her. So let me tell you this. I couldn't go to his home.
Okay.
Sorry, babe.
You're fine.
Could not go to his home because I'm poly. So she refused to even let me come over to the house. And he actually listened to that crap. Another reason why I couldn't stand her. Bro, she's not poly. We're not asking her to be poly. We can't come by and see you. We're in town. Nah, I asked her, man. She don't want y'all to come over here. She don't want to see it. She think I'm going to want to be poly. I am not a believer in religions.
Okay.
She hates that.
Okay.
So all these things, she says, he's controlling. I kept telling her the entire relationship, Brianna, you are the one that's controlling. All these things that you fear, you try and get in the way and control. You don't want him to be poly, so you keep him from his brother. You don't want him to be a non-believer, so you don't want him talking to his brother. I can't make him do nothing. In her mind, I have all this influence over him, and he gonna do whatever I want him to do. This is how she sees it, and she's making it up. So they don't know her like that. We went there, Jamie went there to their house one time, and that's because Lacey wasn't with me. My brother just got out the hospital and went home from having his cancer surgery. And it was on a Monday. We spend our time like on Mondays and Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. It was Monday. We took straight off to go see him. That day it was fine, but I knew if I brought Lacey, it would be a problem. So I didn't. I just took off and left. She didn't like that. She wanted to go. But I did that because I wanted to see my brother without causing any problems. That's exactly how this woman acts. Now, right when I asked her about the abusing of my brother, what did she do? Go to talking about Lacey. Makes up a lie. Lacey left you in the middle of the night. You need to worry about your own relationship. Well, no, I'm asking you about this abuse that you went online and said allegedly happened. And now when I ask you about it, you bringing up Lacey? That sounds like a dishonest person. Mm-hmm. If I didn't believe you, it seemed like she would have said, dang, Kevin, that hurts that you didn't believe me. Like, dang, like, I know that's your brother, but it wouldn't have been an insult to me on me. Mm-hmm. So because I don't believe her, I'm gay, I'm broke, and Lacey left me because she want me to herself.
So now I guess because, you know, it's always kind of been skepticism around, like, are you a real brother, and to hear, I understand the passion now behind why you are like really, really going hard.
Like, that's my niece who made a video about her daddy.
Yeah.
When I tell you, I cried more than he did. When he called me, I'm on the phone crying. Why are you crying? Bro, I got 3 children. I couldn't have taken that. But they have a different relationship. She was raised outside of him with her mom. My children were raised with me their whole life. So if they did that to me, I wouldn't even want to live. And my life evolves around my children. Nothing else. I know, like,
I see how active you are with your kids.
If my children ain't happy with me, if they do something like that, I wouldn't even want to live. So I felt like I would have felt in that moment if it was my own child. I thought when I talked to him on the phone, I was thinking that this is gonna be it, but I might lose my brother over this.
Okay, let's since you are here, because his first baby mother came out and said that he did similar things to her too. Okay, were you around when any of that was going on? I was around,
and none of that happened. So he moved her in with him to Atlanta. Okay, he moves away from the small town we lived in and moved to Atlanta. He moves her with him. Within a week of being there, he comes home from work and finds another man in his house. And when he walked in and caught it, she talked shit to him. She didn't say, "Oh, my bad, I'm sorry." She actually just talked junk to him, went to yelling and screaming, like she wasn't just sitting there with a dude in the house. And the dude was just like, "Well, I didn't do nothing with him, man. I was just sitting on the couch." She was back there getting ready. He was like, "Man, you got to get out." Of course, dude left or whatever. But he was like, "I'm taking you home." She didn't care. She just talked a bunch of shit. And she punishes him to this day for ending the relationship when she was literally cheating on him. And she says Brianna's living her life. She says this even though she has another man. Now, since my brother, she's had 2 more children out of wedlock. She had 1 before him, one with him, 2 more after him. Now she's met another guy and had a child with that guy. She said that man molested kids when they broke up. They got back together. She said, "My bad, I lied." So she has a history of lying, okay? I watch her raise Dasharia, and I watch her ruin her with her interactions with her daddy. I've watched her tell my brother, "You can come pick Dasharia up." Robert drive 4 hours from Atlanta, get to the school, and she'll have the cops there waiting for him to say he's going to come and kidnap her. But she just told him he could come. Now, he has to show them he's been through this with women before. He got to show the cops like he's what. Then
how does he keep finding himself in these same situations?
Contrary to popular belief, it happens a lot. Women love to punish men, and they use the police to do that. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Men hit women, right? So if she met one guy who hit her and then met another guy, we wouldn't directly blame her. Say, why you keep meeting men who hitting you in the mouth? No, that would be wrong to do, to say that's your fault. Now, it's been 4 or 5 guys down the road, and maybe you're looking for men that have these type of traits that you like. Maybe they're aggressive and you like it.
But in this,
the way women attack men is verbally and through using these type of tactics. They don't just walk up and hit a man. The way men are more aggressive, so they'll hit. But women will go through all these little things to terrorize you. Calling police, using her brothers and sisters, friends and family, and social media. So again, she calls the police. That's already abuse. Then she goes public. The girl got a brother or a couple. She got a father. He was there. He could have shot my brother. Any of these dudes who out here who really care about women, and I do too, could have hurt my brother. Because when a woman says, "I've been abused," men come to help her. Strangers come to help her. Families come to help her. All this considered, she still said I was being abused. The worst a man can do is hit you himself. I don't think a man can get online and say a whole bunch of stuff to other people to have them go get you. But a woman can have your ass killed easily, quickly, with just a lie and a rumor. I've seen just recently on the news, a woman went to her, she was arguing with her boyfriend. She went to her brothers and said that he hit her when he didn't. Okay. She took the brothers back and he shot them both dead in the front yard. Both of her brothers are dead now. And they didn't ask no questions, just went right behind her to go in the house, and they went in his house and he killed them both. And he said, "If they come, I'm gonna kill them, I'm telling you. I'm gonna bring them anyway," she says. This is not right. So when I look at all the things that could have potentially happened to my brother, I see a situation that he should not get himself back into. I would see it as foolish. I would see it as foolish as a woman going back with a man who just beat the crap out of her. Nose bloody, nose broken, beaten and battered, bruised. Okay. She goes back to him for what? Well, because I want our family to, you don't want your children around that man. He shouldn't want his daughters around that woman. because of the things that she's done. And if you step back and look at it, let's say that he tried to kill her, you wouldn't be saying this. So you're saying, okay, she tried to build this platform off of him. She tried to build this platform. I say she tried to kill him.
There's been some women that the winos know, okay?
But I'm just saying.
I've had women lie.
She tried to kill him. That's how I look at it. She tried, and he has to treat it as such.
Okay.
She calls the police to say all this.
So you're adamant about them dissolving the marriage.
Well, no, I'll say this. If they were to repair the marriage based on what you were saying,
okay,
I would say there'd have to be time. Okay, he'd have to make sure that she gets therapy, that she is a totally, completely different person, that she does see his value, that she does see him as someone that she can follow, that she does see him as husband material. She has to see him like that. If she don't see him like that, why would she even want him back? See, the reason you don't tell all these lies is because it gets us all confused. When she first came out, she spoke about the irreconcilable differences. He doesn't give me romance. He says she doesn't give me affection. Now, see, I could have helped them with that. But now we're not even talking about it. So if they take each other back, what about this affection? What about this romance? We ain't even dealt with that because we're still trying to prove that we ain't beaters and that we trying to hurt someone. It's so crazy. So you can't even get to the nuance, the irreconcilable differences, and heal from them. All we got it's just a whole bunch of shit to defend himself from. And you have to understand, as a man who looks online and sees this person saying this about you, who's used this same type of platform to build your whole legacy off of, and you see this person doing this to you, I think he handled it better than most people. I can clearly judge and say, I would have did this differently. I would have did that differently. But
I'm not at liberty to say, what anybody should have done, but I just wanted him to step aside from social media before responding to, it's like somebody's got to, it's like if you in a ring with somebody and y'all fighting, if somebody steps out the ring, y'all not fighting no more. You fighting yourself. And that's all I wanted him to do was step out of that ring as the man that he is, as the black man that he is,
that I agree with.
Get solid again, plant his feet, stop responding to all the comments, stop responding to what Brianna is saying, and figure out where he's going to go. Because the more he feeds it, the more crazier he looks. Because she is like emotionally gone.
She's hurting and she'll do anything. She'll say anything.
That's what I'm saying. So like to him, it's like the worst thing you can do, and let's just say she has narcissistic traits, which I believe she does. The worst thing you could do to a narcissist is walk away. That's the worst thing you could do.
I agree.
Because they'll
try to attack you, won't they?
It's not that they'll try to attack. You're their weight. You're their energy weight.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as they have somebody to beat down,
get their supply.
That's how they get their supply. So like if he would have just stepped aside and still steps aside and doesn't participate in any of the shenanigans that's going on, Brianna will get a reality check because why social media will humble her. It's going to come a time where they're going to be like, all right, Brianna, he's not saying anything, girl.
I really wish that time would come. It seems that they're validating
gone.
Everything she does.
I disagree because there's been some bloggers out here with heavy
some
bloggers
going
hard on
everything
norm, that she says.
The norm is agreeing with her. And does she have narcissistic traits? Absolutely. If your husband buys you a ring, that's the ring. You don't go buy your own ring. I want a bigger ring. I'm gonna go buy my own ring
before. Not to say that I didn't like, but I've had that ring put into bigger rings and stuff like that.
So he bought you a ring, and you took the ring and went and bought another ring without him knowing.
No.
Okay, well that's what she did.
Oh, no,
so a man loves a woman so much he goes out and finds a ring and gives it to her. He thinks that she's gonna think this ring is special. And from what I've seen, if a woman loves you, she'll take a bread wrapper. She loves you.
Yeah, it doesn't
She'll take
matter.
a tattoo.
Yeah,
she loves you. She didn't love him. Yeah. She wanted a title. See that big old wedding, right?
Yeah.
That big wedding they did?
Yeah.
Okay, that's social media stars, right?
Yeah.
That's just an investment. See, we're sitting here looking at Brianna saying the actions that she's doing, she's in love with him. Obviously, why would she marry him again? You mean she paid for that $30,000 wedding that she got back probably in a week after the video launched? She made like 90 grand off Facebook that month, off those videos. And everybody's feeling sad for her because she spent 30 grand. Yo, she did that for an investment.
Oh, you were spilling wine today.
Listen, you guys need to know something.
I don't want you to miss your flight because there's a lot that you spend.
Well, let me. As social media people, we can use these things to take vacations, buy clothes, do whatever. Listen, it's just the facts. So we sitting here saying she loves him. She was chasing validation. Women get an upgrade in their status because of marriage. So that a lot of times the man need to know: do she love you? or is she looking for a promotion in status in community? Because it may have nothing at all to do with him. He could just be the conduit to her getting the status that she wants, to her going around saying, look at what I got. Look at what I got. Look at what he did for me. He needs to know she really loves him. All that's fine. That's beautiful. If you take away ceremony, proposal, ring, women in a large part would no longer want marriage. Because when they think about marriage, they think about the ceremony. Everybody seeing them in their beautiful dress, the honeymoon, that beautiful experience, that beautiful ring and proposal. They're not thinking about living with this person, working with this person, going through ups and downs, because you just gonna go right back to the same house. You just married. It's not special.
Not necessarily.
It's very necessary. Like, no. I want women everywhere to understand this, okay?
You know, I got
Don't have a fairy tale image in your mind about marriage.
No fairy tale.
This fairy tale image is killing us. Yeah, a courthouse is. Listen, that's what we did. Courthouse. Listen, we can do that.
Yeah, I think.
But if they were on me about a beautiful, grandiose wedding, I would start to question like, okay, wait a second, time out. You need all of that.
It's certain women that certain men go after. And they are aesthetically pleasing to the man, and these women are built off of aesthetics. And
they're built off validation, right? Via those aesthetics. See, listen, I understand it.
Okay, but you gotta take responsibility for that.
No,
you go
watch
after
this.
These women
Yes,
are not aesthetically like drawn to this and that, right?
Listen, I did say, no, watch this. If a woman is really, really beautiful, okay, she gets accepted in life due to that beauty. So if she has negative characteristic traits, they often get looked over. To her, this means that she don't have to work on them. So it's just like a wealthy man. I'm telling you now. Look,
I've seen some of the most beautiful women in the world, single as hell.
Well,
single as hell.
But she still get attention, right?
She gets attention, but like,
right. So watch this.
That attention
she don't have to change. She don't have to change because dudes will still deal with her. Now watch this. Watch this. You seen single rich men, right? That's single men who got money, right? They got money. They're single, right? Yeah. But that don't mean they know how to work with women. Right. But they get a lot of women. You know why? Because their bad character traits are canceled out due to their money. People will still deal with them. So a man with a lot of money, it'll be very hard for him to be a moral person unless he works on himself. And a really beautiful woman,
and that's why
she won't get checked.
Women date the men with the money. That's just how it works.
He should have vetted her. So when he said, okay, she has the beauty, let me see if she has the personality traits of a loving wife. She should have looked at him and says, okay, he has resources. That tells me he's a capable man who does not get in trouble and lose his resources. I know he's not a loose cannon. He probably doesn't beat women. If he had, he'd have a criminal record. He'd have probably lost everything that he works for. He's actually focused on something. So I can see that he's a resourceful man. So now let me see if he has the personality traits on how he would treat a woman. Because who you are in life, in career, and who you are in relationship are two totally different things. So when we see how Brianna or how people behave domestically, and we compare that to actual life, we think that they have something to do with each other. A person in their relationship could be a very domestic person, like argue, fight, all this stuff. But in their professional life, they may do none of that. But you got to understand their emotions are attached to this personal person. So over here, they're emotionally driven. They're tied up into it. So they're a roller coaster of emotions and they cannot handle it. Sometimes the worst can come out of them. I'm telling you now.
Listen, I could have you here for 5 hours, right? But you got a flight to catch and I got to feed y'all. Are y'all always this quiet? Y'all too?
We listen.
We were expecting a poly interview, so
no. I just like the family dynamic. So you're coming.
With this situation,
but I do want to do a part 2 with y'all. I'm gonna come to Atlanta and do a second part to where we talk about how your family dynamic.
Yeah, let your guests know you brought me here to talk about this situation.
Yes.
And if we
I introduced it. I was like, that's why.
He's over talking this. No, listen. No, we're talking about this subject.
This had everything to do with Robert, your brother, and Brianna. And I did ask for your wives to be present. Yes. Because I was like, but you married. Like you but I was shocked to see you say no. There doesn't need to be reconciliation. My brother doesn't need to take accountability for nothing. And that's why I brought you here and asked your family to be here. You know what I'm saying? Because they would have went and looked it up. And they would have said, right, without your wives here, well, he don't respect women anyway because he got 2 wives. Right. But y'all are all here. Absolutely. So
and they can tell you I respect them, I love them. Right.
Yeah. So I didn't want that to be a backlash of, you're talking about the polygamist. He don't really care about women. He's all for himself. So that's why I asked you and your wives to come. So, but I do want to sit down with y'all again. I will be in Atlanta, probably around the first week of March sometime, and getting a part 2 of you know, just your family dynamic and how it works. You know, y'all being together for 20 years and you being open to making this a polygamous relationship, like just understanding your mind frame. You know what I'm saying? And then you come in, you know, not knowing them long into a dynamic, and how does that make you feel? And then you know they're gonna drag you now.
I've been since we
they're gonna be like, oh, he just a ladies man. They just, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, just figuring that out. And so like, I will definitely set up a part 2 with you guys, and I'll come to Atlanta to do that, because I will be in Atlanta for a good while in March, handling business and stuff like that. And so just kind of seeing how y'all dialogue, because this is more common in the United States, although like I'm married into a polygamous family. Like my husband's family, they're all polygamous. Brothers got 3-4 wives, stuff like that. So that's something that him and I talked about when we first got married, and he doesn't desire to have, you know, to be polygamous. Not everybody's built for, you know, the emotions that women come with. And so that was a very deep conversation with us. So, you know, I agree with the lifestyle as far as like, because I've seen it work. And so I don't look at it as kind of like, oh, you know how most people move.
I was nervous.
I told her, I said, Tasha ain't like
I was nervous.
They don't like doing interviews just for that reason. So
No, I'm not like that.
Wonderful.
Like, my mother-in-law, I love her to death, but I also love her sister wives. You know what I'm saying? So
wonderful.
And they all eat together. They all congregate. You know what I'm saying? So I see it every day in my family, so that it's not something that's foreign to me. And besides the point, like if you ain't a sister wife these days, you a side bitch. So what pick a side. So it's just like, and I tell them anyway, women will be with you if you're honest.
Be honest.
You know what I'm saying? And I wish more men understood that. Like you can get all your baby mamas together and let them know that this is how we gonna run things, because we are by nature built like that.
And,
so
and look, if I were a ladies' man, that's what I would be. A relationship slows a ladies' man down. So one of the worst things that when a woman calls a man a ladies' man, whenever he's in a committed relationship to women, it's just so far from the truth, because he could just be out here sleeping with whoever. And believe me, it's cheaper for him, because you just get him a little something and then he can sleep with him and have fun with him.
Well,
I'm totally committed to the women in my life.
And I totally, you know.
I turn women down all the time. They ask to be a part of this union. So if it was about ladies, man, I'd keep saying, keep coming. And if they say, well, I don't want an extra one, I just say, okay, I'll have 2 and replace you. That's not what I'm doing. I absolutely love them. I see no way to bring in the legacy that I want without them. My future children are connected to Lacey. And I value her as the future mother of my children, and I'm hoping that she sees me the same. This is not a thing where it's like I'm here to judge her, critique her. I'm here to love her and build with her and put in 100% of my effort and time and knowledge into building our family and legacy. And at the end of the day, we'll all have something to be proud of. Listen, you could be out here chasing that type stuff, but that's just not who I am.
I mean, even scientific research proves that men who are not settled down and who choose to go from woman to woman to woman, in the long run end up, I guess, a lot less stable than men who marry one wife or 2 wives. And it's easier for them to lose it because, you know, you dealing with all these random women. You don't.
Each one of them could be somebody to use you or get over on you, set you up. I keep telling men that you out here dating saying, I ain't looking for nothing serious. Well, what that means is nobody's going to take you serious because you're not looking for nothing serious. And I don't really want to deal with people who don't take me serious. Because when people don't take you serious, they don't step into it with the same type of standards that they would normally step into.
I mean, you get what you attract.
They think them not being serious is a reason to mistreat you.
Yeah, I forgot who wrote that book. I got to get who wrote that book, but it was, they followed a lot of the leaders of the world. They were particularly white men, but it goes for black men too, because a lot of them get their research from black men and just kind of adopt it to a white lifestyle. But like the same can be said for any race, and you will find that the most successful men are the most stable. They're less promiscuous, and they really value their wife or wives in their lives to contribute towards building long-standing wealth. And Donald Trump, I think, is the perfect person for this, because all of his wives, whether they were ex-wives, current wives, even though he couldn't be polygamous with them, all of them lived very, very good, but each of them equally contributed to building up the wealth in the family. And so, and we can say that for a lot of our Black leaders as well. So I totally believe in it. It's not nothing I disagree with, because I mean, I could see how it could be of value to my family, but that was something that we talked about and we don't necessarily need. So, and it boils down to what the family needs. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, definitely going to have you back here for part 2.
I want to say this before we end this video.
Okay.
Of course, we've talked about what went on between my brother and his wife, but the thing with the Sharia, okay, I grew up.
That's his daughter.
Yes.
Okay.
I grew up feeling distance from my father. Okay. And so I would project if I was good enough, if he actually loved me. It's heartbreaking to feel like you're not good enough for your father. Right. You understand? And she doesn't have that. She has a father who absolutely adores her. But the problem is she doesn't know it. Yeah. And I don't want her to go through life wondering if her daddy loves her. And he does. So they've told her, when he's on camera with you, it's just for a viral video. He don't love you. He's not doing that with you because he's enjoying his time with you. So they've taken everything that he's done with her and told her it was something different. This is how somebody can truly snatch your father from you, by having you look at him through a skeptical eye. It's truly, truly sad. And
that's what I was telling Robert. So you got to keep them kids and your family off camera.
I want to say this for Dasharia. I want her to know he absolutely loves her. Listen, he'll call me. I don't want to get emotional, but he'll call me. Bro, listen to her sing. Tears in his eyes. Hey, she sound good, don't she? Don't she sound beautiful? Kevin, I've been working with her. Like, she gonna be great. Kevin, she gonna go farther. She gonna do this. And she don't think he love her. Listen, I would kill to have my daddy talking about me like that.
Right.
We didn't have that type of relationship. I love him to death. And I was brought up judging him too, even though he's probably doing his best. Right. But he wasn't doing what my brother's doing. And yet and still he's being judged. Like he don't love her. And he got to watch her. He's fought for custody for her. He's paid thousands and thousands of dollars. He's won custody and sent her back home because she wanted to go back home. So he's been trying his best to do everything right by her. And she got to see this father who, an outside of the home father, is more gift giver because he misses you. He wants to do these types of things. But an in-home father, now you're going to get what a real father is. He's disciplined. It's rules. There's structure. Right. And when she moved with him, she couldn't handle that. See, she didn't have that with her mother. She could go wherever she wanted to go, do what she wanted to do. Right. So she's trying to sneak out with boys and stuff way older than her. He spotted it and caught it. When he wouldn't let her go, she goes, "You're not my daddy." Start talking to him all crazy, you know, and things escalate from there. But many parents look at that and say, I would have reacted the same way or worse.
Oh no, I said that during the interview. I said I would have whooped her ass.
And a lot of things, and see, look, here's the privilege that you have as a woman. Yeah, you could approach Brianna straight and say what you had to say to her. My brother could never do that. Oh, and you gave her the smoke. You really did. Yeah. But you can do that. We can't actually look at women and even though it's just words, because they say physical abuse is wrong for a man to do to a woman. But if he speaks to her, now that's abuse. So she's weaponized his words, but hers aren't weapons. Yeah. So to her, she can say anything to him. But if he says something back, it hurts her. Yeah. It hurts him. Yeah. And I keep saying that's a level playing field. But when the things you said to her, the things that you went in on her about, my brother could never do. And that's why I say respectfully, thank you. I don't actually disagree with you. I disagree with you asking my brother what was wrong with what he did wrong, but I don't disagree with your take on his response. He gave you nothing. Yeah. He didn't give you anything that he actually did wrong. So if you ask somebody what they do wrong and they do a lot of that, that is not taking accountability. I 100% agree with that. Yeah. But I'm saying the question should have never been approached because he's the one that's being physically and verbally abused. Clearly, no debating. Yeah. Now we can argue, is he doing that to her?
Currently, yes. And I've told him behind the scenes, do not respond. Because at the end of the day, like, you are looked at as the leader of this family. And when your family is in disarray, guess who's blamed? You are. And as Black men, they have to understand that. Let your woman go on a tangent. When she's done, you'll be right at the house waiting for her, and then you figure out what y'all are gonna do.
Yeah, I said those tangents don't have to end. mature people.
They will. I mean, if she ain't got nobody to argue with, she'll eventually return back to her senses. But you can't feed fire with fire.
No, he should have never argued with her. He should have moved around. He should have left her alone.
So that's.
So I keep saying that he should have left her alone. Right. He should have broke up with her ass.
Oh,
that's what he should have done. Yeah. That's what he should have done. They got kids together. No. I'm saying before he had a child with her.
Okay, but that's too late now.
Before saying, I love on your kids, I treat them right, you should be thankful. Instead of saying that, just leave. Because you saying that, she'll see it as an attack. You can't win. There's nothing you can do or say. If you say to her, you should be thankful I'm doing this, then that's an attack. So he says that she'll do all this before I start cursing her back out. I witnessed it. And like I said, after I watched that video where she said, go suck your brother's thing, that I ain't gonna let a B treat me like that again. I could play that behind that video and I would say, oh, I see why he talking to her like that. And they've asked her, show the whole recording of what you said to this man to get that out of him. It's not right that he said it, but show your part.
Right.
No, she's not going to show that part.
Well, I mean, like I said, her PR move was very strategic. She did it during Domestic Violence Awareness
Do you think she was really trying to set him up and build up?
Yes, absolutely.
Now watch this. If you think that,
because she was trying to figure, like, I need to make this bag on my own without him, and I can show him, and
I didn't believe you at first because honestly, I didn't think she was smart enough.
Yeah, she's smart.
No, okay, I didn't think she was smart enough. Okay,
it had been
because it don't look good. Right, so I'm thinking, but now I'm starting to think, okay, maybe she is trying to do that, but just not doing a good job of it.
Yeah.
So based on that,
yeah,
why should he take her back? If she's trying to destroy him, why should he go back in the house with this woman?
Irrational.
Right, which means she'll call the police again, right?
She probably will.
Okay.
I can't fix my mouth to say, especially when
because for the kids, because we'll always try to protect the kid, and I speak up for the ancestors. I do. Yeah. The ancestors are the children that's coming into this world and the ones who have passed on. Yeah. But I also say, as a child, speaking for my ancestor, would I want to be in the home where my mother emotionally terrorizes my stepdad or my real dad, calls the police on him, and I gotta watch this. And then she gonna come to me and ask me to validate her, and that's my mama, right? So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna have to help destroy this man. And later on in life, when I grow up, I'm gonna feel like a piece of I wouldn't want to grow up with that.
And on
I'd rather that man go on about his business.
And on that note, the Rise family, we're gonna rise. I appreciate y'all coming out to South Florida to address a very private and public family matter, because you did speak a lot on what has happened behind the scenes as someone who's been very present in Robert and Brianna's life. Okay. And so for those of y'all that wanted me to get the wine on the wipes, that will come in part 2. But I just wanted him here so that you guys wouldn't go look up his social media and be like, hold up, he's this, he manipulating women and all this. And so just having the support from his wives here, and we'll definitely, like I said, have you guys back to hear from you. And I'm interested in how this works. And Kevin, thank you. I understand the passion behind your words, because I didn't really believe y'all was like blood brothers. I heard y'all say that, and I was just like, dang, bro, they don't even look alike. You know what I'm saying? But I get the passion, and again, I appreciate just you coming out to offer another perspective, and a very balanced one. So again, thank you. Okay. And so all you gotta do is look at that camera and say, now we gotta go.
Peace, y'all. Come check
us out. All right, and we done. All right. Thank you. What'd you think of everything though? I know y'all heard him. He was shaking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That passion.
I wanted to say before we went out that you know, of course, like, we're here, but this was his interview, and we understood that, and we also knew it was a topic that he was passionate about that. You know what I mean? So we didn't really get involved with all the stuff when it was going on, period. I mean, of course, like, you know, Jamie and I both have our own platforms, so we did get followers, you know, trying to like get us to get upset and respond, like, you know, whether it be name calling or trying to project onto the situation so we could, in a sense, spill tea, you know, but we were both consistent in that fact that we support him 100%. If it was our brother, we probably would do the same thing. And, you know, that's not our place, even if we did disagree. That's his brother and his family and that breakdown. And yes, that's extended family for us, but it wouldn't have been appropriate to try and get in his head and tell him what he should and shouldn't do, because that could have affected the outcome either way, and not just our family outcome, but Robert's family outcome. Okay. And it wasn't a good move to even interject into that, but just to kind of stay on his right side and his left side, and we here.
All right, bonus
support.
Right, we just want to put this portion out. So anything you want to add? Or
I was just going to say also the support. Okay. It's like I ain't got to say a word. Right. I just need to stand right here. As long as he know we here.
Okay.
He know what he need to do.
Okay.
We good.
Here's the thing, I've never even mentioned this to you before. Mm-hmm. You've known Robert your whole life as well. We went to the same school. You went to the same elementary school, middle school. Mm-hmm. Have you known him to be even violent?
Not at all.
Not even violent.
No, I never got that from him.
This blew me
even
back.
You could tell highly aggressive, like irrational men. I've never in contact with him, like I could, and I'm a pretty good reader of character because I have to do that very quickly interviewing people. I have to figure out what wavelength they're on or what energy I need to be on. You know what I'm saying? And so with Robert, he's very mellow, very even-toned, very stable, self-absorbed, of course. But no, I never got aggressive, like or. Because I did hit him a few times with things that would have triggered anybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so he's the type where you gotta like really push him. He has the mannerisms as far as the way he responds to just digs in general as my husband. Like my husband's the type like he doesn't give energy to anything.
Mm-hmm. So it comes off as passive aggressive, and that can infuriate somebody who's trying to hurt you.
Right.
So when he would post like stories and stuff and of girls talking junk about Brianna, that would fuel her. So I would say to him, don't do that. Right. If you don't like her making video, well, she made a video and saying this, but dude, you know you're in a war, even though you're trying to pretend that you're not in one. So stop posting that stuff. Just let it go. Like that's what I was trying to tell him, but he's never seen that before. In his future, he probably won't fuel that as much.
Yeah. And like I said, I understand his personality because it's kind of along the lines of the way he responds to, I guess, to situations and anger is along the lines of my husband. Because like very early on, like my husband and I got married after 3 months, right? And I was 24, he was 26, right? And so I come from a very highly aggressive family. You know, the women are very aggressive, but they're married women. And, so a lot of things that I would respond to, and I'm still kind of like that way. I get very passionate about it, right? And he's always even-toned. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll just be like, okay. He'll take it in, and then he'll be like, okay. But if I was unstable, and I've probably done this in the past, not probably, I have, like very young, early 20s, right? You know, whereas I remember I wanted a couch. And he said, no, we can't buy the couch. And I was like, but my friends got a couch, right? And I'm like, everybody come over here. They sitting on this, even though we had a couch. I'm like, they sitting on this ugly ass flower couch we got from the Goodwill. I worked too hard. I want a couch. This is a real story. And so he's at work and he's like, well, it's not in the budget. And I'm like, oh, it's not in the budget. I'm going to make it in the budget. So I started working, overtime, but I was still talking shit. And I was like, every time I came home, I just got upset. And I'm still like that to this day. I have to aesthetically like my surrounding. It's a feng shui thing for me. So if I see something in a place that's ugly, I lose my mind. I'm like, that's not supposed to be here. What the fuck is it doing here? I will call somebody to come move the shit, right? And so I've learned that about myself. And so that couch was I said, I worked too fucking hard. I'm not looking at this couch. And it was a coffee table. I'm going to rooms to go get me a couch. And so after bitching, one day he was like, all right, go get the couch. I wouldn't even go get the couch. Because the way he came off, it was kind of like, I'm like, is he really mean this? Like, go get I could really go. You playing, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the way he responded to my energy, and that could throw people who are high energy off, like, wait a minute. And I think if Robert would hone in on who he is a little bit more, he could control his family a lot better than responding fire to fire. And my husband has always been very, very, very stable in that department when it comes to me going off the ham. Like last night, I'm mad at what an employee is doing, and I'm just like, he was like, I'll talk to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how he is. Like, and I'm like, oh, he said he got it? He got it. That's it. We're done. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that Robert has that same power, and any man who's emotionally stable should have that same power over his family. And that's why a lot of times Black men find themselves in situations because they respond not the way that they're supposed to respond. You're not supposed to respond like a woman to a woman. And that's where I feel Robert messed up at.
Sure.
So, thank you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you for having us. Thank
you see how
you.
when she came to me
Anytime.
and was like, you gay. I responded, I said, I am not going back and forth with a woman. I will not.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick to the topic of abuse. That's what we're
Okay.
staying with.
You probably infuriated, huh?
Oh, I was pissed off. Right?
You knew how to trigger her. Let's talk about that abuse.
Because that's all we're going to talk about. I ain't going to talk about you. We ain't going to do that. But I didn't like that. You know what I mean?
I feel you.